Hello everybody, it's EzraTime again here. Welcome back to another videos. And today we're gonna be reacting to the game theory video by MattPat once again. This one is called FNaF. Is Golden Freddy really in security breach? Interesting. I never heard anybody talk about Golden Freddy actually on security breach, so I'm really curious to see what MattPat has to say about this theory. And I love how the first title or like the first chapter for this video is called Music Man. you know. Oh man, fun. So much fun, right? So without further ado, let's start the theory, shall we?
Thanks for coming in, Freddy. I heard you got some new eyes recently. Just want to check to make sure that they're all functioning before we send you back out there on the stage. Tell me, what do you see here?
That is my friend Bonnie. I miss him.
Don't we all? Don't we all? How about this one?
It's me?
Interesting response with heavy lore implications. Gonna make a note of that one. All right, how about this last one?
Oh, that's the DJ, you know. DJ... No, hold on, don't help me, I have this. DJ...
Come on, Freddy, it's obviously...
Music Man!
There you go.
Man! Oh! Music Man! Music Man!
Oh damn, this is a nice remix.
Music Man! Music Man! Music Man! Music Man! Man! Oh! I was so close!
Oh my god, man!
Music Man!
Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, where the only thing that slaps harder than our remixes is you slapping that subscribe button. A huge thank you to Doofix from the Game Theory
please release
subreddit
that,
for helping that meme
remix,
achieve its
please.
true final form, and for letting me use it as a part of this video. As I write this, his masterpiece only has 400 views, so
Oh,
let's
nice. It was
blow
released,
that
okay.
channel up. Link is in the top line
Let's
of the
go.
description. You
Let's
know
go,
what to
guys.
say. Fill up those comments. Let me hear you. Music Man! As the man said in the song,
Let's go! Let's go! Go! Go!
say what you will about
Let's
Security
go.
Breach, and there's certainly a lot you can say about Security Breach. The fact that it launched this weird, unseen animatronic from Pizzeria Simulator into
Oh, I
meme
didn't
lord
even notice
status
that.
is perhaps its greatest accomplishment. And speaking of other unseen animatronics, today's episode is actually a pair of mini-theories all about two animatronics that are notably absent from this newest game. Characters that have been with us since the very beginning of the franchise, but whose 80s shoulder pads apparently weren't big enough for the final cut. And in a game that throws so much Freddy spaghetti against a lore wall to see what sticks, what gets excluded from the game is almost as
Golden
interesting as
Freddy.
what made the final cut. So what are the mysteries surrounding these two animatronics? Can we solve the mysteries? And what do the solutions tell us about the lore of this new game?
Oh, is it Golden
That,
Freddy
my
and
loyal
Bonnie, I think?
theorists, is what we
Might be
aim
wrong.
to answer today. Missing animatronic number one, Glamrock Bonnie. We
Oh,
all thought it was
Glamrock Bonnie.
strange when the trailers first dropped and we saw our favorite animatronics in their new 80s getup. Freddy, Chica, Foxy, kind of, and
Foxy.
No, that's an alligator. Yep, Montgomery Gator was in, and Bonnie the Bunny was out. At first, I thought
Yeah,
this was just going to be a
replace.
repeat of Sister Location. Introduce some new characters, reintroduce some old ones with new looks, and, you know, just leave a couple out. But then, right outside of the daycare of Security Breach, we hear this.
There is no rabbit at the Mega Pizzaplex. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
And that right there, my friends, is theory bait. Stick it on a fish hook and
here we
drop
go.
it in the water to reel me in. Clearly, this was more than just an arbitrary swapping of characters. There's a story here, a mystery to solve. Glamrock Bonnie did exist at some point here in the Pizzaplex and now
Yeah.
doesn't. And the game continues to remind us of this mystery as we explore them all. While trying to decommission Chica, you have to venture into Bonnie Bowl. And while we're up there, Freddy says this.
I do not come up here anymore. I miss him.
We even get a collectible message from Roxy Raceway that talks about him. Quote, management report. The
I hope there is
bowling
a
alley needs a
DLC for
retheme. While most of the
Glamrock
Bonnie
Bonnie.
art was removed, kids keep asking, where's Bonnie? Do we have an officially approved response? So yeah, where is Bonnie? The kids want to know, and heck, I want to know what
Yeah,
happened
same,
to
me too.
everyone's favorite rabbit. Well, to answer that, we actually have to follow the other messages that we get in the Faz Watch. Specifically,
let's get
this
into it.
security alert found behind a locked Monty gate in the game's opening service tunnel. Quote, security report 12:24 a.m. Bonnie is seen leaving his green room in Rockstar Row heading east towards the atrium. 2:40 a.m., Bonnie enters the East Arcade. 4:12 a.m., Bonnie enters Monty Golf. Bonnie is wandering around the Pizzaplex and winds up in Monty Gator Golf. And see, this is an important detail because as we see in both the game and the collectible messages,
you saying Monty killed
has
Bonnie?
a bit of a mean streak going on. He likes breaking things. He also has a bit of an ego. I don't know if you noticed, but the animatronics in this game are unusually human compared to the ones that we've seen previously. They have personality, emotions. We see Roxy crying in her room because we've managed to escape her.
We should have found him by now. It's not fair. I'm not a loser.
Chica is just hungry all the time, and Monty wants to be the star. He's looking for a way to rise to the role of leader of the band, singer in the spotlight. We know this thanks to hole number 9 of the Gator Golf minigame. Monty is center stage, and Freddy is left out in the dumpster. So when bass player Bonnie comes rolling into his domain late at night, Monty sees this as his opportunity to take him out and become the bass player himself. This is all fairly straightforward just from reading those collectible messages, but it does leave me wondering why. Why did Bonnie go to Monty Golf in the first place? Well, what if someone led Bonnie there so he would get destroyed? Monty would get what he wants, a more prominent role in the band, and Bonnie would be quietly decommissioned and turned to scrap. Scrap that could then be used to help rebuild another rabbit that we're all familiar with. One that's hiding out in the basement. Good old Burn Trap Afton. You want to know where Glamrock Bonnie is? Right there, right in front of your face. Burn Trap's body is Glamrock Bonnie's body. And I'm not just saying that because they're both rabbits. There's actually a couple more clues that pointed me in this direction. If we turn back to when we last saw Afton in the form of Scrap Trap during Pizzeria Simulator and Ultimate Custom Night, there were some interesting design details. Namely the fact that we can see a lot of bone underneath the suit. A lot of bone. Top of his skull, his jaw, around the eyes here, even the collarbone you can make out in his jump scare. But here in Security Breach, Afton has basically got a whole new body. As Scrap Trap, he was made primarily of bone and muscle, but now he's almost entirely animatronic, with the exception of the weird fleshy tendons that entangle the endoskeleton, as well as the skull, which now appears to be melted into the rabbit face. But we see loads of endoskeletons throughout Security Breach. We even hear Vanessa saying that they could just put old casings onto new endos if they need to.
Monty will run the shows until Parts and Service can slap your casing on a new endo.
So why then am I so sure that Burn Trap uses Bonnie's endo when they could have used any other endoskeleton? It all comes down to the hands. They make a big point in the trailers to reveal this mechanical hand with claws at the end of its fingers, and they put emphasis on it again during Afton's ending when his hand reaches outside the recharge station. On both occasions, the focus is on Afton's left hand, a hand that was completely missing from Scrap Trap in both FNaF 6 and Ultimate Custom Night. I mean, technically he was missing that entire left arm, but you get the point. So what does any of this have to do with Bonnie? That could be any endoskeleton arm, right? Wrong. Take a look at the Glamrock endoskeletons from this game. Their hands? Yep, they don't have claws. The only animatronic whose endoskeleton does have claws? Montgomery Gator. We actually get a really good look at his hands once we've decommissioned him. But hold on a minute, I was saying that Burn Trap was made from Bonnie, so why am I so focused on Monty? Well, we have to go back to the messages that we get on our Faz Watch. Down in Parts and Services, we get this maintenance log. Quote, Montgomery's claw upgrades allow him to play the bass. Following performances, he mostly uses them to cause damage. Before I read this message, Monty having claws didn't really strike me as an odd design detail. I mean, the dude's an alligator. Kinda makes sense. But this message made me reevaluate that opinion. Claws are only for animatronics that play the bass. When we get the message about Bonnie being out of commission, we get this line. Quote, with Bonnie out of commission, we are making Monty the new bass player. Parts and Service have already done the proper adjustments.
Makes sense.
They're installing the claws on Monty because he's becoming the bass player, which means that Bonnie before him must have also had claws. They need to be built into the endoskeleton because they have to pluck the heavier strings. Therefore, the claws on Afton's new body prove that they could have only come from a single source, Glamrock Bonnie. But Glamrock Bonnie isn't the only one conspicuously missing from the Security Breach lineup. Where is everyone's favorite yellow clickbait, Golden Freddy? At first, I didn't think too much about his absence. Last we saw old yellow Fredbear, he was twitching away at the end of Ultimate Custom Night, keeping the spirit of Afton trapped in an endless purgatory of torment. Meanwhile, you got Old Man Consequences over here asking Cassidy, you good, bro? and encouraging them to leave the demon to his demons. So, yep, that story seemed largely done. Cassidy, aka the one you should not have killed, aka the vengeful spirit, call the kid whatever you want, this was another playing piece off the lore table, the end of another character arc. So why would Cassidy appear in Security Breach? Doesn't seem necessary. But then, it was more Freddy spaghetti time. Security Breach once again threw everything it had at the wall to see what stuck. And I do mean everything they had. Basically, everyone and everything in the series up to this point is represented somewhere in this game. FNaF 1 animatronics, FNaF 2 animatronics, tons of references to FNaF 4, a direct connection back to FNaF 6, there's Baby, there's the puppet, there's the fun times. If my theories up to this point have been correct too, you also get Crying Child, Michael, and Elizabeth, the Aftons all in one neat little package. And that's still not all. The arcade cabinets reference everything from the original novel trilogy to the Fazbear Fright stories. Heck, in this one game, you get not only one, but two, count them, two versions of William Afton, Glitch Trap and Burn Trap. You have all the versions of pretty much all the important characters throughout the franchise. So in a title that seemingly references every other important corner of FNaF lore, where's our golden boy Freddy? Well, he's there. He's hiding in plain sight, right here, inside the Princess Quest arcade games. The princess is, quite literally, Golden Freddy. Or, to be entirely accurate, it's actually the spirit of Cassidy inside the arcade game. I know, it seems crazy, right? And while I could try to bury the lead here and string this whole thing out, I'm not. There's just too much to talk about. We know that this is Golden Freddy because it's coming straight out of the horse's mouth. I guess it's the sheep's mouth because it's Steel Wool Studios. Anyway, if you dive into the game files, there's a character sprite folder labeled Cassidy. Open it up and what do you find? The princess. Now, I gotta be honest, that alone didn't convince me. Sure, it is a huge deal, and obviously the golden color of the princess is a direct connection back to everyone's favorite yellow bear, but this is also a series that's used the name Jeremy in like, what, at least 4 separate places? Is that right? 4? He's a missing children's incident kid, he sliced his face off in FNaF VR with a paper cutter, he's a security guard from the FNaF 2 paychecks, and oh yeah, he's in the latest Fazbear Frights book. So yep, those are the 4 instances that I can just remember off the top of my head. So forgive me if I'm in need of a bit more proof here before I call this one confirmed. So I kept digging. First, it's worth noting that in a previous theory, I suspected that the princess was actually meant to be a stand-in for Vanessa. You see, Security Breach isn't the first time that we've actually seen the Princess Quest minigame. It originated as part of the mobile port for FNaF VR when they needed some way of telling Vanessa's story. Instead of finding 16 glitching cassette tapes like you did in the original FNaF VR, the mobile port has you playing Princess Quest 1, lighting 16 braziers to eventually find the lair of Glitch Trap. Interestingly though, digging through that game's files reveals that the princess character wasn't labeled as Cassidy. This is a new thing for Security Breach, which tells me that this was also an important story element for them. A story that, now that we have all 3 Princess Quest games to look at, suddenly takes on a different meaning. When you play Princess Quest 1, you're being hunted down by black glitchy rabbit creatures. These things are clearly working for Glitch Trap, but if that's the case, why would he be sending them to attack you? If the princess is truly meant to be a stand-in for Vanessa finding the tapes, wouldn't he want Vanessa to find them so she comes under his control? Rabbits attacking doesn't make sense. However, if we consider the Golden Princess to instead be Cassidy, back from the dead once more to try and stop William for good, then of course Billy Afton would do everything he can to stop the princess. I also think that each Princess Quest represents a different phase of Cassidy's experience quite nicely. In the first one, Cassidy is helpless, an innocent, helpless child lured to a back room and killed by a monster that looms in the shadows. But by Princess Quest 3, the princess is fighting back. And not just fighting back, but doing it in the same location that we walk through in FNaF VR. Notice the large central stage, the prize corner back behind us, and a rounded side stage to the left. Now, this is an important detail because as we see at the end of FNaF VR, we're playing in the location of the missing children's incident. Glitch Trap lures us to the back room only to shove our dead body into Freddy's suit while he dances around. This is Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, where the initial 5 kids, including Cassidy, first went missing. Cassidy's story truly comes full circle. Playing through Princess Quest 3 the first time, I also thought it was unusual to have a giant Chica face looming in the background watching us. Like, why? Seriously, why? You don't just do that for decoration. And then I remembered this line from Ultimate Custom Night. I was the first. I have seen everything. This means that Susie, the spirit inside of Chica, saw the deaths of everyone else, meaning that she was probably watching as Cassidy was killed. Hence why she, of all the characters, would be the one watching us in this moment. So the file name matches, the color matches, the narrative arc makes sense as we revisit important locations from Cassidy's past, but that's not all. Elsewhere in the files, there's another piece of glitch text, similar to the text that we originally saw when you approach Glitch Trap in Princess Quest 1, but this time it's much shorter. It'd be hard to decipher if we hadn't just decoded Afton's text before, but we did, and using that code, we're able to translate these dots as "it's me," the iconic phrase that we've seen every time Golden Freddy has been present throughout the series. Last but not least, Cassidy being here just makes sense with the story. Whenever there's William, Cassidy is close behind, hence the whole vengeful part of Vengeful Spirit. This is something that we actually see in the Fazbear Frights books, specifically the story The Man in Room 1280. In this story, we get a ruined, burned William Afton dying on a bed, haunted by an angry spirit named Andrew with curly black hair wearing an alligator mask. This very clearly is meant to be the book stand-in for Cassidy. In a previous story, Andrew outright says, quote, "I do remember wanting to get back at someone who hurt me. I think I attached myself to him. I got into his soul, made sure he couldn't move on when he should have died. I remember I wanted him to suffer the way he made me suffer." Basically, the two are inseparable. Andrew grafted himself onto Afton, and now their souls are mixed. So consider this. Glitch Trap was created when a bunch of circuit boards were scanned into a system to create a video game.
They sent us that stuff in the first place with no explanation. It was just junk. Circuit boards and things like that. Somehow, though, there was usable code on some of it.
If Cassidy was truly attached to Afton, then Cassidy's spirit would also likely be in those circuit boards, thereby creating a digital version of her, aka the princess. So yeah, I feel pretty darn confident that that is indeed Cassidy in Princess Quest. Everything I could find backs it up, from a design, timeline, narrative sense. Also, the file name suggests that the king is actually Old Man Consequences. Sure, I guess. Leave the demon to his demons. Unless, of course, you want to take my sword and go ham on him. Anyway, so what does it all mean? Why is this important at all? Well, it gives us a rationale for why playing some random arcade games somehow manages to free Vanessa from Glitch Trap's control. As a reminder, if you play all 3 Princess Quest games, you get the free Vanny ending, where she turns good and joins you eating symbolic ice cream cones. But really, it's a pretty weird logical leap that playing a few random arcade games somehow gets this young woman free of the virus that's infected her brain. But now, it makes a bit more sense. At the end of Princess Quest 3, we confront a large security door that's covered in purple goo, only to get a blood-curdling scream. That goo tells us that it's Glitch Trap behind the door. It even has a glowing set of eyes on the left-hand side, which, if you squint, kinda looks like a rabbit head. This kind of goo wasn't present in the identical door within Help Wanted, implying that he is now in control. So when Cassidy unlocks the door and goes in, the digital scream that we hear from the other side is Glitch Trap dying, crying out as Cassidy delivers the killing blow and maybe, hopefully, finally, putting both of their souls to rest. Security Breach to me has been this story about endings. Throughout all of my Security Breach theories thus far, we focused heavily on the idea of characters coming full circle, giving closure to them and ending their parts within the FNaF storyline. The crying child and the missing children got their closure back in FNaF 3's Happiest Day. Henry and the puppet got their closure in the FNaF 6 ending. If I'm right about my theories, then the rebuilt Afton kids get their closure on the hillside eating ice cream here in Security Breach. And now Cassidy. While all the other dead kids of the series have been able to move on, Cassidy has always remained, always trying to chase Afton down, torturing him in purgatory for what he's done, so driven by anger and revenge that she couldn't let go. So this feels like a great ending to this chapter of the series. Finally, Cassidy gets to join the others and rest, putting aside their agony and putting an end to the Golden Freddy arc, and hopefully to Afton's arc as well. But there's still one more that's incomplete. One more series of secrets in this game that we haven't talked about yet. Tune in next FNaF episode as we wrap up our coverage for Security Breach by talking about the most controversial and frustrating part of it, the retro CDs, the mysterious Patient 46, and what all of that has to do with the theories that we've covered so far. So bite of 87 that subscribe button to ensure that you don't miss it. And as always, remember, it's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching. So remember, February 19th, Saturday, for our final Security Breach theory.
Okay, oh, she's doing a stream. But yeah, that was a good point though. I mean, that was a pretty good theory in my. I mean, makes sense though, because I was disagree. I was kind of weirded out that, you know, the Princess Quest. I thought Princess Quest was supposed to be Vanessa for the longest time, but hearing my pet current theory now, that actually makes sense though. That Cassidy is the one who frees or like kill Glitch Trap, quote unquote, kill him, and then free Vanessa in some way. You know, Then again, I don't think that's the end of William Afton because he's found as a Freddy is still going to continue at some point. I gotta be honest. And I do want to see the three Afton family, if this was Afton family anyway, becoming the main protagonist for the next game, because we rarely see like a returning protagonist for a FNaF game, you know. So like I really want to see in the next game to be like a returning protagonist, and then probably give more context on who they were, you know, but give more clues, I guess. And yeah, I just really hope that the next one is gonna be. I hope there is a DLC for Glamrock Bonnie, you know, because I think it is confirmed the Security Breach will receive some DLC, but and hopefully that DLC was well polished and well paced, because again, even though Security Breach, again, yes, it's all about the ending. It's all about closure now, and it's kind of insane to see that FNaF has this many theories, and then now the current FNaF game is all about closure to some characters. You know, at least that's the ongoing theory. Is it right or wrong? Well, we don't know. It's just a theory, right? Um, but I think it's kind of cool, you know, if the story was a closure. But at the same time, I really want to see a DLC like Glamrock Bonnie, right? What happened to him actually? I mean, we got a clue for what actually happened to him, but I kind of want to see a DLC for that, you know, where you actually play either as Glamrock Bonnie, where you actually experience what actually happening to him, or you play as Glamrock Freddy and you actually friends or like bros with Glamrock Bonnie. You know, that would be really cool, you know. And obviously with that DLC, we get to see the Glamrock animatronics just talking to each other, because again, they have personalities, right? So I want to see the animatronics actually talking to each other, discussing something, or you know, like that, you know, because so far the official game doesn't really do that, and that kind of sucks in my opinion, because they have personalities, you know, they have their own issues, but they don't exactly talk to each other. And I'm just curious to see what's gonna happen if there's a Glamrock Bonnie DLC. Hopefully there is. And I'm assuming there's probably gonna be a DLC about Vanessa as well, because we haven't seen a lot of Vanessa and Vanny in the Security Breach game, because they appear in the like the first quarter of the game, I guess the first half of the game, and then they got completely they completely vanished literally from the game until like the ending, where you actually remember, oh yeah, Vanessa, you know, the security girl, I guess you could say that. Forgot that she exists. Ooh, you know. So I think there's gonna be a DLC for her, maybe. At least I hope so. Or maybe there's a DLC about something else, because I do know there is like a level 10 security breach pass door that you can't exactly go through, because apparently there is no levels, there is no level design in there. So there you go. I think that's gonna be the DLC, right? Or maybe the DLC is gonna be you're playing as an employee. Who knows? But either way, there was a really good theory. Cassidy being the one who kills, being the princess. I think that makes sense. I know that some people might be disagree with that, and that's fine. And then hearing that Monty is actually responsible for Glamrock Bonnie was like, damn, that's messed up. I hate Monty now. You know, which honestly, with this theory, that's most likely the case. So I think I'm gonna hate on Monty to be fair, because again, Bonnie is probably one of my favorite animatronics, right? I mean, the classic gang is always gonna be my favorite, but seeing that Bonnie just get destroyed like that by Monty, literally a new character, is like that. I mean, that pisses me off in some capacity. So hoping for that DLC, man, just to clear up some things up. You know, just saying. Maybe something different will happen. Who knows? Either way, yeah, I like that theory a lot. I know that some people will disagree about the Golden Freddy theory, because it's not exactly controversial, because I feel like MatPat does provide some good theory, but I understand that some people might disagree with that and still stick to that. Oh, the Princess Quest is actually Vanessa the whole time, and it's not Cassidy. But I don't know. I guess everybody has their own opinions or theory, right? So yeah, I guess that's it for my reaction for this theory video. So you guys can let me know in the comment section below, what do you guys think about Glamrock Bonnie being killed by Monty? You know, how do you guys feel about that? Do you guys hate Monty even more now, if that was actually the case? I mean, there is that evidence in the game. So if Monty actually killed Bonnie, how do you guys feel about him? Are you guys gonna hate on Monty now? I mean, I kind of hate him right now, gotta be honest. That. And for the Golden Freddy theory, what do you guys think about Cassidy being the princess in Princess Quest? You know, do you guys agree with MatPat theory, or do you guys think that, oh no, like the princess is still Vanessa, you know, it's still Vanessa, and it's not Cassidy? You know, let me know your opinions about those in the comment section below. I like to hear about them, obviously. And if you guys want to watch the original video, then I will leave a link in the description below. As always, make sure you guys check the Game Theories channel. I will leave the channel's link in the description below as always. And subscribe to MathPad, show some support obviously. This man is really consistent with the FNaF theory, I gotta be honest. Apparently there's gonna be one more in the future, but I guess we'll wait about that. But yeah, and if you guys enjoy my reaction video, then leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell so you can get notified, and then share the videos, the usual stuff. Yeah, that's it for today's reaction video, guys. And again, there was an enjoyable theory. There was an interesting theory, in my opinion. Can't wait for the next one for talking about the patients and then I guess the sister location room, you could say that. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. Even though security breach wasn't exactly reached its optimal level, I guess you could say that, but whatever, it was enjoyable, I guess, for the story, in my opinion. Even though some things could be handled way better. So yeah. Either way, that's it for my reaction video, guys. And again, I really hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you guys in the next one then. Bye.